Spirit the Raven by Nanny Linda. I was sat peacefully by the window enjoying the warmth of the sun, feeling relaxed and grateful as to how beautiful the day had become, when speeding down from the sunny sky, black feathers in a graceful flight, a raven landed on my windowsill, which filled me with pure delight. He cheekily pecked at the glass, tap tap, cocking his head to one side, and said, "Come on out and join me. I want to take you for a ride." Quickly putting on my boots and coat, I couldn't hide the excitement that I felt, wondering what the plan was and what magic was being dealt. "How am I going to fly with you?" I asked Raven as he hopped about on the grass. "Don't you worry about that," Raven squawked at me. "We have a special magical flight pass." The Raven then introduced himself as Spirit from the land of magic and spells, and said, "I've come to take you on a journey to where the wizard dwells." Raven hopped up onto my shoulder, and with an eerie gurgling croak, he wrapped his wing around me like a protective magic cloak. Travelling so quietly through soft fluffy clouds and a rainbow glistening so bright, we travelled for many hours for the rest of the day and then into part of the night. After a very exciting journey, we descended and came into land on a beautiful stretch of beach with the softest of golden sand. Spirit the Raven then helped me to my feet and fluttered and hovered at my side. Looking at me with his cheeky grin, he asked, "Did you enjoy the ride?" I looked at Spirit the Raven and said, "This feels both familiar and strange." "Don't worry, all will be revealed in good time," he replied. "For years this visit has been arranged." "Just you follow me," he said as he hopped and took off into flight. So I ran as fast as I could to catch him up so as not to lose him from sight. I ran through the trees lining the seashore, travelling inland to an amazing view, with so many different colourful flowers that I could only name but a few. A waterfall taller than I had ever seen thundered into a crystal blue lake, which sparkled and looked so icy cold, and it was creating a continuous foamy wake. I watched golden orbs hovering and floating everywhere up and around, dancing above the crystal lake and skimming the flowers growing in the ground. And then fairies emerged dancing as light as air with delicate gossamer wings, each one so colourful and glistening, they were such pretty little things. Other tiny winged creatures buzzed all around, some even landing in my hair, so light and graceful and happy, gliding on the warm summer air. Also there were hummingbirds, butterflies and damselflies too, as well as dragonflies and wood nymphs, to name just the ones that I knew. Gnomes were busy tending to the flowers and shrubs, hustling and bustling all around, pruning and weeding and working so hard, and one felled a dead tree to the ground. The birds in the trees were of colours so rare, happily singing and chirping, not having a care. Pink and blue rabbits were hopping and playing with ease, all through the flowers and around the shrubs and the trees. I then saw two unicorns, a mother and foal, trotting out from the forest so green. They were two of the most beautiful creatures that I had ever seen. What a wonderful realm I was visiting. I felt peaceful, safe, happy and warm, with skies of blue and magical beings. I then felt a memory begin to form. Then all of a sudden I had such a fright as the lake started to bubble and surge, and from the dark depths a crystal castle slowly started to emerge, which looked like it was made of glistening glass, and it was reflecting all of the land, the trees and flowers in the gardens, the great waterfall and beach of golden soft sand. Then a bridge of light magically appeared, crossing over the lake, and Spirit the Raven said to me, "That is the path you must take." I was escorted by dolphins on both sides of the bridge, who happily chattered and squeaked, and golden winged angels flew by my side, and blue birds with long pointed beaks. So bravely I walked and crossed over the bridge, as I was so excited to see who or what was in this great castle, and why they were waiting for me. Spirit the Raven, flying beside me, then whispered into my ear, "This is the home of the great wizard who wants to meet you. Don't fear, for he is wondrous and kind and has loving care for all, and he's the protector of this land, especially when any trouble should try to call." Then a bell chimed so loudly the vibration hurt my ears as it echoed all around. and down the glass winding staircase the great wizard did leap and bound, wearing a red and gold star-studded cloak and a pointy hat that had a bell on the tip. He was running so excitedly and tinkling that I thought he was going to trip. "Hello there, my friend," he said. "I'm so glad we again could finally meet. Your visit with Spirit the Raven is such an honour and a great treat. Let's celebrate your visit with a refreshing glass of homemade lemonade and lime. We can talk about how your life has been, and you may also ask me about mine." The drinks were brought in on the delicate wings of two silky white doves, neither spilling a drop as they glided in from high above. So there I was, sitting with a wizard, and him sat upon his majestic throne, in his crystal castle abode, on a blue lake far away from my home. We chatted for hours and hours, enjoying every minute of the day, and the wizard showed me around his crystal castle, which left me again searching for a memory that I felt was tucked away. "I wish to honour your visit," he said, as he presented me with a beautiful crystal on a silver chain. "Oh, thank you," I said. "It's so beautiful." And I had that strange feeling again. "Now, if ever you are in trouble," he said, "and need a wizard's help, just hold the crystal to your heart and your message to me will be felt." I took the crystal in my hand, knowing I had seen one like it before, and it came back to me that it was when I was a little girl, about the age of 3 or 4. Then the memory became clearer, and I recognized Wizard, my imaginary friend, and Spirit Raven, who I used to travel with, and the messages to each other we would send. "How did I lose this memory?" I asked, as I held the crystal in my hand. "Don't worry," Wizard said with a smile on his face. "It's life. I completely understand." I looked at Spirit the Raven and stroked his feathery head. "I'm so sorry that I forgot you too, Spirit the Raven." "You are forgiven," he lovingly said. I became so very sleepy, and Spirit the Raven flew down to my side. "I think it's time we made a move," he said. "We have a very, very long ride." I placed my beautiful new crystal necklace gift around my neck for the journey home, and Wizard and Spirit the Raven both looked at me as if our friendship they had always known. Wizard then gave me a huge great hug, a fond memory that I will always keep, and Spirit the Raven and I took to the air, and I drifted off to sleep. When I opened my eyes, I was in my home once again, no Spirit the Raven in sight, or so it seemed, but I now knew that he was always with me, and not just in my dreams. I so clearly remember how I spent that day, and knew that I had visited the wizard before, and it wasn't just my imagination, like my parents had told me when I was aged 3 or 4. I began searching through an old toy box that belonged to myself and my sister Elaine, and there, in the bottom, wrapped in tissue paper, was a beautiful crystal on a silver chain.